So we'll close on that, and we'll open on House Bill 2149.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, House Bill 2149 specifies that persons who qualify as former prisoners of war may pay a one-time $15 fee to register a motor vehicle. There is a fiscal impact statement that was issued with this measure. It's available on OLS. There's also minimal revenue impact. The measure came out of the House with a vote of 60-0, Mr. Chair. And Representative Johnson's here.
Representative Johnson, welcome.
Well, welcome, Mr. Chair, committee members. For the record, I'm Mark Johnson from House District 52. Thanks for hearing this bill today. I'm bringing this bill to you on behalf of a constituent by the name of Alfred Gilbert. He's a resident of Gresham. He's actually also a constituent of Senator Thompson, unbeknownst to him, so he's going to learn something today. Alfred is he's a World War II vet, and he's a former POW. He was actually on the front lines during the landing on the beaches of Normandy. And 3 days after the initial D-Day invasion, he and several other members of his company were captured by a German tank division not long after they just moved in from the beaches. He was held prisoner for 11 months, being moved between stalags multiple times, enduring hunger and all kinds of deplorable conditions, as you can imagine. He and his fellow prisoners finally escaped when their German guards abandoned the stalag during the bombing of Dresden near the end of the war. They walked then towards Czechoslovakia until they encountered Russian forces and were finally returned to Allied territory after that. Alfred was honorably discharged from the U.S. Army on November 29th of 1945. He and his family later moved to Oregon, and he worked in a paper mill industry for 40 years before he retired. This last summer, Alfred tried to get his ex-POW registration and license plates renewed. He's 96 years old, by the way. Keep that in mind. He and his son, Keith Moore, who's with me today, went to the local DMV in Sandy to apply for the registration and plates. Keith is a veteran also, and he knew that disabled veteran plates required just a one-time fee, and he thought that the POW plates would be the same. However, Alfred and Keith learned that they would have to pay for the plates, pay for the registration renewal, pay for registration fee to Multnomah County, costing a total of $153 that day, and then, of course, there'd be more fees down the road. You see, there's a difference between disabled veteran plates and ex-POW plates. Disabled veterans plates are permanent. They're not subject to Multnomah County's registration fee, and they have a one-time total cost of $44. Ex-POW plates currently have to be renewed every 2 years. They are subject to Multnomah County registration fee. They cost $153 and require an additional $86 every time they need to be renewed. So this point of this bill, House Bill 2149, would simply allow former POWs to pay a one-time fee for their plates, the same as disabled vet plates currently require. Establishes a one-time registration fee of $15, and again, it has the same language in here that exists for disabled veterans plates. So it's not just Alfred we are doing this for, however, I need to make that point. In September this year, there were 33 current former ex-POW plates in Oregon, and 92 plates that were no longer valid for various reasons, as we might imagine. So with that, I'll let you hear from a son-in-law of this American hero. As you can imagine, we're talking about somebody here who, you all have seen the movie Saving Private Ryan. Think about D-Day and those folks that were moving inland, and that's exactly what Alfred did. But and and I think, do we have him on the phone?
I will be calling.
In a moment, sure. Okay. But I'll let his son here go ahead and fill in the gaps on this. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hello, my name's Keith Moore. I am the son-in-law of Alfred Gilbert, and I want to thank the Senator Beyer and the chair people for allowing me to speak before you today. I'll kind of paraphrase what I have pre-written, but on behalf of the family of Alfred, what we call Al Gilbert, our father, would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the Senate Committee on Business and Transportation, as well as Senator Mark Johnson for introducing House Bill 2149. This would be revising the Oregon State statute in providing a one-time decreased vehicle registration fee for the former prisoner of war. We are humbled that we are taking this opportunity for us and for you, rather, to listen and review the documents that are supporting this on our father's behalf. I'm here before you in giving the support of House Bill 2149. We are very much in agreement that the revision of the Oregon State statute is a long overdue, and to the servicemen and women of the United States Armed Forces and found themselves as POWs during war or military conflicts. We would like to take, like our father and our other POWs, past and future, to be recognized for their sacrifices they endured during the time they were POWs by the state of Oregon and its governing body, recognizing these POW veterans have a one-time decreased registration fee of their vehicle registered in the state of Oregon with a permanent ex-POW registration and plates. We, the family, as well as Alfred Gilbert, greatly appreciate the work and time that has been put in so far in House Bill 2149. And in closing, I would like to thank Senator Lee Byer, Chair Lee Byer, and the rest of the Senate committee on allowing me and my father-in-law's behalf to speak in regards to House Bill 2149.
Thank you. Any questions? So should we call Mr. Gilbert?
Absolutely, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I would mention that he was able to come down for the floor vote, sat on the side aisle, but he gets out more infrequently.
Hello, Mr. Gilbert.
Yes,
This is Senator Lee Byer, the Chair of the Senate Business and Transportation Committee. We're considering House Bill 2149 that would allow you to buy prisoner war plates for a one-time fee. So I want to give you a chance to comment. I understand you came down for the House hearing, but didn't want to make that trip again for the Senate.
well, I would have liked to make the trip, but I just don't feel like it. I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks with a heart attack. So,
Oh, my.
getting over it. Anyhow, Chairman Byer, the members of the committee, this started last year in July. My car needed new license plates, and I went down and ran it through, and it passed all right for admission, and but I did not get my license there. I generally do. We have been talking about the permanent license and the POW license plate. So my son the next day brought me up to Sandy, Oregon. And we went early. They were still 6 or 8 ahead of us. And when they opened the door, everybody took a ticket and we went in with a number. We sat there, and when my name came up, we walked up to the lady that was in one of the service spots and asked about this, and she said, "Oh dear, I've never made out one for a POW." So she got calling and asking some of the people, other people that worked there, some questions, and we filled out some papers and signed them, and when it all boiled down to, she said that is a special plate, and it will be changed every 2 years, and the price is $153. Well, that is not what we understood. We thought we were going up a one-time payment, and that was it. But that isn't the way the thing read up there. Anyhow, I paid the money. I didn't want to go back up. My son-in-law was with me, and he wanted to take me back home and show them that I was a disabled veteran and had service connections with the VA. And I said, no, I'll pay the fee. So I did get my plate, but my son-in-law Keith got that started, and he called down there and wrote down there, and it ended up that I was down at that one meeting with the House, and it's gone to the Senate now, and I understand if it passes, it will go to the governor. So there's not much more I can say about it, only that we were looking for 100% disability and getting a plate on the car. That would be a one-time deal, and might cost that much. So right now we're waiting to see what happens. Everybody has been more than helpful and done a lot of work on this, and I'm thankful for that, whichever way it goes.
Well, Mr. Gilbert, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Obviously, we weren't aware of the omission, if you will, and your son-in-law is a very persuasive fella, so I think we'll take care of that here in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, that sounds very good. And I do want to thank everybody that's been connected with this, because everyone has been more than helpful.
Well, thank you very much for your service to your country.
Thank you.
All righty, we'll let you get back to your business.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.
Any other questions, group? I don't see any. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
I would just add, just quite briefly, it really was kind of a fascinating step back through kind of historical records. I don't know whether you have them or not, but we actually have copies of the original cables that his wife received, first notifying her that he was actually in a POW camp, but it was 5 weeks after he was captured. I mean, think about the lag. Communication is obviously a different thing.
Yeah.
And then finally, when they found out exactly what camp he was in, where she could potentially connect with him via the Red Cross and stuff. But, these are some pretty traumatic times, and obviously it's not just World War II POWs. I'm sure there'd be some Vietnam POWs that could benefit from
And
this
they
as
didn't
well.
even have the internet then.
Exactly. Coconut wireless didn't work very well.